What up, y'all? Welcome to the Gunslinger Gaming Frosty Pints podcast. With me tonight is DrNiggle, Masami, OmegaConstruct, Spade, and believe it or not, the Leetness.
Oh my god, the Leetness is here?
Warframe.
Yes! 18 seconds! That's gotta be a new record.
Hey, and it didn't come from me or you, Niggle. That's even
what
more
are the odds?
impressive.
That is impressive.
Hey,
Well,
I'm getting
is
20
there
bucks
anything exciting
Warframe. Throw it in there.
in Warframe?
Warframe is
right there.
always exciting.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't played it, but Warframe.
Plague Star is
Yeah,
back. We're doing Plague Star now,
Yes.
getting free Forma.
Yay, Forma. Also, all the repairing of Railjack updates, so that's fun.
That's right, more updates for our spaceships.
Mm-hmm. Let's balance stuff now that, everyone's playtested it.
Sorry about that. Good way to do it. So speaking of space, BioWare decided to tweet an opening that was of the very first Mass Effect game, 10 seconds, and then the whole opening. Do you think they're planning a new Mass Effect game, or are they doing a Mass Effect remaster? And which one would you guys prefer?
God, I hope it's a remaster.
Remaster.
Remaster the first game. Yeah.
I would so much rather go back and play these games again that were at their time so amazing and play them with updated graphics and just modernized rather than have them churn out another sequel or prequel or reboot or whatever. Like, go back to that's one of the things that the gaming industry has over like the movie industry is you can go back and just remake the exact same game and people will love it. Like, yep. I'm so excited for remastered Halo to drop on Master Chief Collection for that very reason. So I totally hope it's going to be Mass Effect 1 remaster.
Yeah, I'm with Omega. Combat Evolved is open beta testing for Halo Combat Evolved starts next month. And that's going to be the next title that they put out in the Master Chief Collection. It's going to be awesome. But yes, I also hope that it's a Mass Effect, a remaster of the first Mass Effect game.
Okay, so I hate to rain on most of your guys' parade because you're all PC guys. You can play the Mass Effect remaster right now, and it's pretty simple. You just download, install a lot, and a couple other simple mods, and voila, you have Mass Effect in 4K. That's fucking amazing.
Which is true. I mean, you can do that, and it's really great of the modding community that they upgraded the textures and made it 4K viable. That's fantastic. But if I don't have to fuck around with that shit, then that's that's a plus.
Yeah.
As we discussed very much earlier, y'all are lazy.
Yep.
Yeah.
Lazy as fuck.
Yeah, that's true.
Just click a button.
I mean, my Mass Effect 3 folder is 45 gigs because of the 4K textures, and yeah, it takes a little bit of downloading. I have the slowest internet of everybody here, and I still have played all of the Mass Effects from 1 through 3 with 4K graphics, and I can say they look fucking amazing. I would not be against a remaster, but I would really like a new Mass Effect game. Not that I didn't enjoy Andromeda, because I did, but I think a new one would be better. Like they fucked the pooch with Andromeda. Let's reboot and say, hey, here's a new game. Unfortunately, if that was going to be the case, it wouldn't be anytime soon. I think a remaster is probably more likely.
So the thing, we've said this before, and I was the unpopular one and said that I actually liked Mass Effect Andromeda for the story. Yeah, there was nothing inherently wrong. There's nothing inherently wrong with that game, except it was full of bugs and all the characters were ugly.
You're not wrong.
But see, it was a super fun game, super interesting story.
Yeah, it was a great story.
Gameplay itself was great. I didn't mind any of that. The characters looked terrible, but the game itself was so much fun, and I love the story.
again a few mods off of Nexus mods, and they changed a bunch of the characters and made them better. Made it shorter landing sequences, which I didn't realize how annoyingly long those landing and takeoff sequences were, and the doors on Kadara were, until I used the mods that shorten them. And then you're like, what in the why did I need a 30-second door opening when it could be done in 2?
Immersion.
Yeah. But yeah, the next thing on the list was Combat Evolved going into beta, which you guys already covered. I will say I'm looking forward to that way more than I was Reach.
No, I'm gonna play the hell out of it.
I'm probably it's got multiplayer, then I'm gonna play the hell out of it with Omega.
Yeah.
Well, if you guys play it, I'll probably play it.
This Halo Combat
I will
Evolved
be picking it up.
that is like a huge part of my childhood. So the only thing that is like remotely more nostalgic than Halo Combat Evolved for me is Zelda for Super Nintendo.
Well, I was gonna say Diablo 3.
And the Nintendo 64 ones. But yeah, Halo coming back, I am so fucking excited for that.
You know what? I hope they really
GoldenEye.
remaster. I really hope they remaster Turtles in Time.
Oh, that was such a good game. I love that fucking game so much.
They made a cabinet that you could buy. It's like $318. It comes with both of the Turtle games, and you can buy it at your local Walmart. It's like, I think it's like $318, and it comes with 2 games. Turtle in Time is one of them, and then I believe the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is the other one, and it's got the 4 joysticks and the buttons and stuff, like the whole. It's an actual cabinet you put in your house.
I remember you posted that in Discord, and I've kind of freaked out, I think.
I mean, that's
Yeah, the
super
new arcade
awesome, but
system.
the fact that you get it from Walmart for $300 means it's going to be made of like the cheapest, shittiest particle board.
Plywood, yeah.
When
Plywood
like
particle board.
the insides of it, I can guarantee you are no more complicated than an Arduino and a Raspberry Pi.
It's just a Raspberry Pi that's been duct
Legally
taped
own it.
onto the side.
Like that's all that's on the inside of it. So if you have even the most minimal of woodworking skills, you could probably, for the same price, make a much better cabinet. And
But you couldn't legally own the games. That is the big difference.
But I mean, yeah, Raspberry
details.
Pi is actually probably better technology than the old Super NES was anyway.
Yeah,
I mean, it's got the whole like joysticks and the 2 buttons, the A/B buttons and whatnot, and there's 4 of them set up just like the old school, cabinets you used to play at the roller rink or wherever you went to play cabinets when you were a teenager.
Was that still 8-bit processing?
Oh, no, I think it's got to be 16-bit because it was color.
Oh, Jesus.
Hmm.
Christ, yeah, we're old.
Yep.
I remember playing Space Invaders.
I
Oh,
do too.
God, Pong.
Actually.
We dropped that shit when Oregon Trail came out. That and Number Munchers.
Oh, we were just talking about Oregon Trail and how the kids don't know how good they got it these days.
Thank you, Spade. That
Nor
picture
did
makes
they
me
have-
moist.
Nor did they, have to operate a 5 1/4 inch floppy to actually fucking use it.
Oh, 5 1/4 floppies. Those were the days.
I know how to work
I
with
have
floppies.
True floppies.
I still have Doom on
Actually
floppy.
flopped.
Yes.
Spade, you still got them?
Yeah, I have Doom on floppy. We picked it up at the thrift store.
Hell yeah.
My wife and I walked into a
That's
thrift store and I
amazing.
was like, wouldn't it be fucking awesome to get Doom? And sure enough, Doom on floppy with
How
the
much-
box.
how much does it cost to get a
Jesus.
floppy drive nowadays that can interface with a
25
modern computer?
Oh, like a floppy disk drive reader?
Yeah, like the
It's
actual
like $5
drive
now off Wish.
$12.99.
wow.
Yeah. Is that a USB port or does it have to go
It's a
into
USB. That's the hilarious part about it. It's a floppy drive that connects to a USB port.
That is so funny.
I was
Wow.
figuring they'd have to use like the printer port or something. The
Dude,
old school like
I mean,
13 pin.
It's $13.99 on Amazon. Spade, you got to get this. You got to get this and like record or stream you playing the original Doom on floppy disks.
I have the emulator. It's fine.
No. You gotta go. You went it and bought it at a thrift store. You gotta do it. It's deserved honors.
It's basically a requirement right now.
I've had it for like 12 years in storage.
Well, what better time than now?
Right?
Break it out, blow off the dust, plug your floppy drive into your USB port, and give it a go.
Let me see if I can find the picture.
Guys, I don't want to alarm you, but I'm having a difficult time finding a 5 1/4-inch floppy drive anywhere.
I can show you a 5 1/4-inch floppy. No.
Oh, are these all 3.5s?
Oh, yeah, a lot of 3.5s, easy. But 5 1/4, even a USB adapter, I'm not having great luck here.
It's so old. What do they call the old printer ports? LP1?
LPTs.
Serial.
Yes, serial.
No, serial was RJ40. Wait, no, RS232.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, I can find... No, I can't even find that. I found an old...
Serial is 232s, so you can look for LPTs.
If I
You
had...
don't get LPT ports anymore.
My motherboard doesn't have inputs for what I need to attach this. I can't. So I need a motherboard from like 20 years ago.
You get a
Your
serial to
mother's
USB.
mother's board doesn't have one.
That's true. Yeah, those ports went out with ISIS slots.
ISIS? What? You can. You can get a converter though. USB to serial converter.
God damn it! This is important.
On Newegg, I'm seeing 5 1/4s that connect with SATA.
Nice.
Bam.
I'm sorry. SATA connects at 6 gigabytes a second, and a 5.5-inch floppy is what, 25 megabytes?
A 5.5-inch. Yeah, it's 512 KB.
So about
512
that bus
KB
speed.
on a 5 1/4.
It's about that bus speed. I said it's all about that bus.
Sorry, back.
No buzzer.
Those are a little more expensive. It's $34.
God damn. Well, I know what I want for my birthday.
I'll buy it for whoever's gonna play it.
What the fuck is this podcast about again? What are we doing?
I'm not. We got so
Warframe.
far.
Warframe.
Warframe. Yep.
Well, hey, it's not about movies this time.
No, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shout out to anybody who actually listened to the Lost or Off Topic podcast, the one that's not actually a JS podcast, even though it has the JS splash screen across it.
Yeah, it's.
It's great.
I did outtake because I just didn't feel comfortable putting Frosty Pints on that because it definitely was outtakes.
It was not. Yeah, it was not. It shouldn't have been. It shouldn't even have been uploaded.
Sorry, stupid question. Are we supposed to be on topic? Because,
What's topics?
No.
I mean, we could talk about how Steam's coming to Chromebook, but does
Sure.
anybody other than me really care?
No.
I wasn't here for that, and I'm glad I wasn't.
Yeah, so Steam is finally thinking about bringing Steam to Chrome OS, which is neat and stuff.
Oh, wait,
You'll be
I
able to
thought
play
I
Warframe on a
missed it.
Chromebook.
There's no Linux support for Warframe.
I didn't
It's
miss it.
very clearly on their store page. It says no Mac,
Yeah.
no pussy Mac players or Linux nerds allowed in Warframe.
Pretty sure that's exactly what their front page says.
Yeah. Unfortunately, you're kind of wrong. It's got gold with Proton and DXVK and works perfectly or works flawlessly with some minor tweaking on any Linux.
Jeez, easy with the harsh words there.
I'm burned.
That was a
You
sick
don't
burn.
sound like you're on fire. I mean, there's a cat, but you don't sound like you're on fire.
Is that my cat?
Yeah.
My shit.
Who the fuck else would have a cat going meow, meow, meow?
I don't know. I was about
By
to
this-
say, would you like mine to join yours? I don't know.
By this point, I
This-
recognize Leetness's cat by the way he meows.
She.
This, by the way, for people listening, is like the 18th time that the Leetness has tried to shove his cat off onto me by offering to stuff her into a box and mail her to Massachusetts.
I'll deliver it by hand for free.
Massachusetts is not
with
Abu
$1,000.
It's the Garfield joke from Masami. I caught that.
Didn't we talk about how
Thank you.
Leet's cat was like the town bicycle?
I mean, she is
couldn't
lately.
recall
Actually,
any.
she's no, she is because there's.
So you want to
she
get rid
has-
of her because you might be kittens.
No, she's got no. She's spayed, but she's got lots of gentlemen visitors lately.
So your cat's a slut.
She's a slutty cat.
That's fine. No judgment.
A slutty cat. She has a slutty cat. Yeah. Shame.
All right, welcome
But
to the GS podcast. We're talking about slutty pussy.
Oh,
that's
I
not
wonder
even
why
slutty
the-
in here.
At this point, I'm trying to get fired.
No, it's not gonna happen. It's just not gonna happen. I mean, worst case, we got to bring Sophie in, and she's got to set you straight. I mean, the only
That's
way we're
true.
gonna get Finn in here is if I go down to Chicago and get her ass drunk, and then get her on the podcast. Which I haven't quite figured out all the logistics because then I have to figure out how to podcast from my laptop, and that hurts my brain right now.
That would
She's
be
in
great, though.
Chicago. Okay. No,
Yeah.
sorry.
Well, here,
Yeah.
I will visit Chicago as well. You will introduce me, and since I already podcast from my laptop, we don't have to figure shit out.
But
I'm
how?
keen to go to Chicago too. So-
Wait, if you all podcast from Masami's laptop, then you only have the one microphone. Whose throat is it going down?
I vote one of theirs, not mine.
That is a
it
callback
can
to
be-
the pre-show.
It's omnidirectional, so it can be omnidirectional, so it can be down everyone's throat.
Everyone can throat it.
Oh,
I feel like
yeah.
I'm okay with that.
I still can't believe that nobody's been able to find the pre-shows that we record or the post-shows.
Probably better. I mean, we'd probably lose all of our listeners if they got to.
What are you kidding? We get more.
I think so. I agree.
That's when the gloves come off.
I mean-
My pants are already off, but my gloves are on.
I would definitely say we would
I mean,
definitely have
we've
Pornhub
heard that-
sponsorship.
Oh hell yeah!
Why? Why not?
Zero is supposed to sponsor that anyway.
Thanks again, Zero.
Yeah, he's working on it. I haven't gotten a link yet, so I can't put our podcast on Pornhub. Otherwise, I would put it there. I mean, why the fuck not? What's another outlet?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Zero's got it like on lockdown there. He's getting loads of hits.
He's getting loads.
Loads.
To the face.
Oh.
Okay, we all knew where it was going.
Yeah,
Fine, we have to
we
make
did.
it literal.
All right, but
I'm appalled with it.
Wait,
thank
we
you,
should probably
Spade.
send this Back to somewhat
Borderlands
top.
3. I was gonna say Borderlands. Was this about a Borderlands 3 event?
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah,
we're
I
gonna
don't,
talk about my cat.
I don't actually play Borderlands 3, but apparently the current farming event should be made permanent because who knew a loot shooter had issues with its loot? Go figure.
Yeah.
I mean, isn't this kind of a common thread we've heard from Destiny, The Division, The Division 2,
Any loot
Borderlands
game.
3? Like,
Let's just be
wasn't-
honest. Most loot games have this problem.
Wasn't there-
loot game
Yeah,
has
wasn't
this
there another loot game earlier, like called like Anthem or something? Remember that?
oh yeah, there's Anthem too. Which
Same problem.
let's not.
There's this
Let's not
other
get
one
into
as
it
well,
right now.
Diablo. Remember when it started? And how often did a legendary drop before? Once
Nobody
upon-
nobody has any idea what game that is.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we only had like an entire podcast about it last week. So if you're curious, you don't remember, just go back and listen to last week's podcast.
I
You'll
wasn't
catch
here
all
last
about it.
week, and I don't listen to other people.
Whose fault is that?
He's so
Linus, you
fucking
make me
conceited.
sad. You need to listen to us.
I'm pretty sure you were pinged like 30 times last week, and you
Yeah,
fell asleep on
because-
us again.
Yeah, because you were online. You were on Discord. We saw you. Your status icon was green, which means that you were jiggling your mouse around or flopping your penis on the keyboard. And we added you a lot. And you didn't.
No,
and you
my
didn't-
cat must have been.
Don't
Yeah.
blame your slutty cat.
now he's gonna
I
blame the
swear, I
pussy.
wasn't
Yep.
online. I wasn't online. I wasn't online last week.
Oh,
So clearly, you need to make sure to leave your phone on vibrate and leave it in your pocket. That way, when you're pinged, you will wake up.
No,
Or you'll have
if-
good dreams. Either way, it's good.
Last week
That's-
I had a legitimate reason not to be available.
That's true. Yeah, we did, and we're not. Yeah, we shouldn't rag on you too much. But the point is that if he puts his phone on vibrate and we ping him, he won't respond. He'll just keep wanting us to ping him.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, it shouldn't take. It shouldn't take too long. So I mean,
But yeah, going back to Borderlands 3 and more loot. I agree. More loot is great. Farming friends is so fun.
The Linus has spoken. More loot is great.
The loots be the toots magoots.
that's
You're welcome. I know that's what you've been waiting for.
Yep, that was it. So I think the only person here who plays Apex Legends is Spade. Have
At
you
the moment-
tried the third person mode?
It's a lot like GTA, only it
Not.
no
Sorry.
like you know how GTA you're farther up over the character, and your character's straight regardless.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, I mean that's
This
debatable.
one's more like third person. You're right behind the dude to shoot straight.
I'm pretty sure my characters are straight, but
Oh, so it's not offset like say Ghost
Yeah,
Recon.
it's not like proper third person. It's more of like you're behind the character as he's running and shooting.
Oh, so all they
Does-
did was zoom out the field of vision, so
the
you're
FOV.
behind the character.
Yeah, and then the
Or
other thing is,
fob.
like when you're trying to aim or stuff, your character blocks.
So basically, it was the lamest third person ever to put into a battle royale game ever.
It was implemented in the worst way because, like I said, like you turn right, your character turns, and then you're blocked with your character. Some of
Yeah.
the scopes let you zoom, but most of them don't. So even with the sniper scope, like the 3 times, you have no zoom. It's just right there on the shoulder. Yeah.
So when you go down, aim down scope, it doesn't go into like the first person scope view.
Yeah, most scopes don't. There's only 2 that do. I think it's the 4x8, the 6 times, and the gold one. The gold holographic. I don't know what the hell it's called. The little gold one.
So they
Those are
released
the first
this
person.
quote unquote feature without making sure it works for a majority of the guns.
It's not. Yeah, it's not supposed to. That's why it's a feature. It's a feature.
So like the 3
Uh,
times scope was the best scope because you didn't have super long distance viewing with it, but it was good for mid range. Now it's just like iron sight.
God.
The good news is today is the last day, so after today you won't have to worry about that shit show that's third person, which is sad because I was kind of thinking, oh, maybe this is a good thing and they'll bring it back, but from what he just said, not sure that's
Yeah.
a good idea.
Well,
Yeah.
so when they first introduced it, were they planning on like only having it for a short amount of time as like a beta testing phase? Because that might make sense then.
Yeah, it's well, it was timed, limited time mode. I don't know. This was posted 2 days ago, and it ends on Monday the 20th.
Okay,
is
so
today.
it's probably like a testing phase then.
So it ended.
We can hope.
We can hope that it ended.
I mean, I don't care. I don't play the
We
game,
can-
so.
Or that
We
the
can-
game
yeah.
ended.
We can hope any one of this, any or.
All of the above.
It's so sad that you get this great game and a great universe, and then they don't even have the coolest part of that universe or the game, which is the jetpack and the movement. Like, I know it's a free-to-play game and set in the Titanfall universe, but the best part of the Titanfall is the way the pilots move and the jump packs and being able to wall run and all that stuff. And the fact that that's not in Apex is kind of lame.
You know what it is though? I played that game, and my first experiences in multiplayer were some dude telling me that I was a fucking noob for pointing to stop at the location that I chose to as the landing position. And then I was just like, fuck this game. And I literally exited very shortly afterwards.
Wow,
because-
shocking.
Welcome to Battle Royale.
Yeah, competitive battle royale has a toxic community. Who would have
So
thought?
fucking toxic, man.
Yeah, that's not
disgusting.
the game because you got that in Red Dead and GTA and
GTA,
level
actually,
one.
you can. I mean, like, okay, let's just take last night for an example. If I had gone onto GTA for the first time last night ever, that would have been a pretty cool experience.
Well,
Wouldn't you
okay.
think?
No, there was a while where we were in a lobby with some cool people who were like, "Hey, what's up?" And then there's that one guy that we brutally murdered when he was coming at us, but he didn't tell us ahead of time that he was friendly.
And
But then there was also that session
It
where there
turned
was like
around.
4 hackers running around killing us all, like killing everyone and invincible and shit. So
yeah, but it also turned around immediately afterwards with that guy saying, "All good," sort of thing.
Oh
And
yeah,
also-
we said yeah. He's like,
And he
not
literally wanted to
hostile
be
or
friends
anything
with
like
us.
that. And I said, yeah, okay,
and
we're
Nico
sorry.
was like, "I don't want more friends."
Yeah.
well, also
I
also keep in
apologized,
mind,
and then
though-
he tried to keep talking to us, and I didn't want to do that because I don't want to make friends on GTA because I think it's a toxic environment. Yes, that's true.
you also have to keep in mind though that we were making it a closed, like a private public session, and your average person who just picks up the game has no idea how to do that, so they're going to be stuck in the toxic lobbies with all the hackers, and they're not going to have the chance to clear all the assholes out like we are.
If we want to talk
Yeah.
about how much we hate Rockstar, we can totally do that because fuck Rockstar for making the new game modes
but,
require a public session.
yes,
I just don't understand how, like, this is their flagship moneymaker of a game, yet they're okay with it being so colossally full of hackers and cheaters and modders, and it just blows my mind.
Make some money.
Yeah,
that's
but
the
like,
GTA side.
considering how much money it makes, you think they would care about it more and like actually put effort into it.
My theory behind this for a while has been their whole thing is chaos. That's what GTA is. You go in there, you murder like civilians, cops, whatever. That's the whole gameplay. So anything that adds to that chaos is just a bonus. It's a feature. It's a feature.
Well, and
Yeah.
also for every hacker that pushes your normal player to buy a shark card to buy stuff to compete with them is more money than they just made. So
Which is a great point too. So there you go. Fuck you, Rockstar.
it's really shitty.
Goddamn
all
money
of
sink of a
the
game.
accounts
God, it's so
banned.
fun though.
And then they have to buy the game again, so then there's more money. 'Cause,
And like, the only reason it wouldn't be at all difficult for them to make these things private, so we didn't have to fuck with assholes. They deliberately choose not to.
Yeah, and for everyone listening, because we're like Gobi pointed out in the pre-show, we're basically famous now. We've got like tens of millions of people listening to every single one of these. We're perfectly fucking aware that you can start up a closed crew session or a closed friend session and you can do all that shit. But if you want to run the casino heist, or you want to do any business battles, or you want to sell cars or shit like that, any of the new stuff that came out, you have to be in a public lobby. There's no way getting around
suck
that.
it.
Well, there is the way to get around that, which is to kick everybody out of your lobby and
Yeah, you
do
can
it before people join in.
There's a cool way to suspend the process and kick everybody out and have your own private public lobby, but that only lasts it was only lasting us like 20 minutes last night before other people
Yeah,
started
I was doing it a few months ago when I was playing GTA a lot
Yeah,
more,
you and me
and
both.
I was safe for like 45 minutes to an hour sometimes before more people were joining the session. Yesterday, it was like 5-10 minutes later, we had crews joining in.
Yeah.
Now we all know how toxic and whatever GTA is. What's Red Dead Redemption Online like?
Pretty good. Well, it depends on who you ask. I can join a GTA lobby or Red Dead lobby and be left alone. Sophie, who's not here to defend herself. However, I'm gonna tell the story because it's a good story. I joined Sophie, and she was being chased by the entire map, and PP were chasing her because she just happened to have tied up and dragged some people.
I'm sure she was the angel and didn't do anything wrong here at all. I mean,
that's allegedly the story she said, but there's at least 6 witnesses who will confirm she went to make friends. And on the PSN side, our making friends is a lot different from you all probably.
Nope. I'm pretty sure it's the same thing on PC. Yep, making friends mean you killed people and everybody's chasing your ass.
No.
That woman is a fucking monster, and we're all terrified of her.
Yes.
Sorry, Sophie.
We play Division because she can't tie you. She can't hog tie you and drag you off into the wilderness.
Oh!
And like gators.
Dude, I should tell her about the Niggle game. Gobi and Omega both, and Linus. Yeah, we all from our Division days. We remember the Niggle game. It's basically you wait till people are standing next to something that explodes, and then you shoot it.
We do that.
Really keeps you on your toes.
You get really smart at just letting DrNiggle go in front of your ass. Nope, you go first.
You really get bonus points if you manage to do it in combat, and like if you can actually down them in combat while it happens, you fucking win. It's great.
It's even better when it's like in like one of those like rage type environments where
it is perfectly acceptable to cause a full squad wipe if it means a successful attack of the Niggle game.
I now understand why he keeps shooting out the stupid explosive barrels in Warframe to cause the windows to break. It all makes sense now.
To a certain extent, you can play the Niggle game in Warframe as well. That's true. And I do try, but it's just not the same. You can't kill someone with a barrel.
The way it worked in the Division, like the stagger that it caused, or it would set people on fire. Like in Warframe, those effects don't have the same impact as they did in Division, where like you get hit with the explosion, you stumble 3 steps sideways, and shit's all fucked up.
The audio rings. It's like you have a ring in your ear too. And if a gas, you shoot a fire extinguisher and it like pops off at somebody, you get like double vision. Everything's blurry. Oh yeah, that was really
different effects for different explosions.
It's very annoying. It was very annoying.
I always preferred like the gas cans.
I'm such a fucking asshole.
Oh, that was such a fun game.
No, really?
Fun.
It's not that you're an asshole. You started, we all played it. One of my proudest moments was like the one time I downed you with it.
Yes. I was going to say, back when you said full squad wipe, I don't know if I ever successfully did that. I think I might have in the Times Square mission once, but I'm not sure that I ever managed to down the whole squad, including myself.
Well, no, I'm not saying that if the explosion downs everybody, but if like you downing somebody leads to everybody getting overwhelmed and like failing the mission, that's acceptable.
That's happened a bunch of times.
Yeah, exactly. An explosion powerful enough. I use
the medical alt and a shield.
That's true. That's why. That is actually why I started maining the shield and being the medic and everything, because I did down a lot of people, especially at the construction site.
No matter what I tried, I could never get away from that firebug build. I just loved it so much.
Setting people on fire in that game was great because they screamed and flailed and left charred corpses.
Just the way that game was designed, you put that turret up in front of a doorway, and oh my god, it was just brutal.
That game was so
It's the
fucking
reason.
broke.
That is the reason my avatar in Discord is what it is. Like that was so. Oh, it was so good. My favorite was that one rooftop mission where there's that last moment where like a bunch of guys pile out of the room with the elevator in it after you clear the roof. And I remember we had it timed perfectly. I would set my turret up in the perfect spot. I would prepare a fire grenade to throw in as soon as the door opened. Like we had it all perfect, and we would wipe that whole room in a burning charred mess in like 3 seconds.
Didn't matter what difficulty we were on. We fucking annihilated
Lexington
those guys.
Invec Center.
Yeah, Lexington. It was Lexington.
It was the roof of Lex. So much fun.
Yeah.
I'm really, by the way,
That game
Omega,
is
I'm
still
really
fun.
happy you're still using that Discord avatar. Because it is,
awesome.
It is very iconic.
Speaking of Ubisoft and all their wonderful games they've just put out,
Their Ubiness.
you know, yes, they have decided that all of their games are shit and they need to be more unique.
Cool.
Yeah, so there's this common thread through all of the Ubisoft titles, which I guess is true. I hadn't thought about it until I read this article that Gobi posted. But real world, like real down-to-earth games that you have, like Ghost Recon Wildlands, Ghost Recon Breakpoint, you have The Division 2, other titles that are like quasi-political, but they never really address politics directly, and they're always based in the real world, and they always have these characters that are real people who are like going about some sort of Tom Clancy-ish disaster scenario.
And we lost him.
No,
And he's...
I'm here.
Oh, you
I just ran out of steam.
Talk.
I just ran out of steam. Yeah, I got bored with what I was talking about, so I just stopped.
Well, I found some interesting stuff about Ubisoft today. A few days ago, they announced that they're doing a massive... what?
No, I'm sorry. I'm just laughing at DrNiggle. Just got bored.
But Ubisoft announced they're doing a huge revamp of their whole editorial team to do this, and they're like expanding the team quite a bit. And actually, they just announced today that they're bringing back the creative director from back in the Splinter Cell days.
Well, that's because there's a new Splinter Cell game coming out soon.
Yeah, but he's not just coming back to Ubisoft to work on the Splinter Cell games. He's being added to this newly expanded and restructured editorial team for the whole company.
It's an interesting
it'll be
direction.
interesting.
Well, so
say-
there's one article that I posted that was about them deciding to revamp their team. Like they talk a lot about what you were mentioning with their approach to games and like how they're going to move those goals forward, and with a lot of the games that they've had trouble with. So I don't know. It could be a sign that Ubisoft is finally they're finally kind of realizing they need to change direction and actually get back to what they were good at, which is the way they used to make games.
So here's the thing: the new Splinter Cell game, it's going to come out. Only Splinter, the main character Splinter, is going to be a girl. It's also going to be steampunk themed, and it's going to take place in space.
Oh boy.
I just made that up, but I play that game.
It sounds like fun to me.
All the things wrong with that, I won't even touch that.
Are you telling me that Splinter is not the main character of the Splinter Cell games?
Yes, that is exactly. Yep. That's one thing. I mean, that was a big thing. And two, I don't think you can really make him into a female. Sam Fisher as a female just is not gonna work.
Sam can be a girl's name too, though.
Yeah, Samantha.
It can be.
Fisher.
It can
You
be.
don't know what they identify as?
I'm sorry, Gobi. It is now 2020. It is now 2020. And
I don't
you're
give a
saying
shit.
are very
there's
close-minded.
certain things like there's just
It's
certain things
very
that like you
close-minded.
can't change.
Assuming someone's gender, yeah.
Hey,
we got there
we already
really
giving
quick.
a female Bond, all right?
The balls
They've
on
already
that.
already fucked up Bond, so just leave fucking Splinter Cell alone. Okay,
That escalated
No.
quickly. I'm proud of this group.
Oh Lord.
yeah, no, yeah, I'm all for female leads. We got plenty of them. Tomb Raider, even when I play Ghost Recon, there's females in it. Division again.
So what you're
females in
saying is that women should just stay in their place where they currently
Again.
are.
That's
Really?
what I understood.
That's the way you understood. Okay,
That's
no,
what I
I'm just saying there's nothing wrong with having a male masculine lead. It's not a bad thing. It can still happen in 2020. Just because it has happened in the past doesn't mean that it can't still happen. I mean, not
So stay in
everything
your
has
lane.
to be a
Gotcha.
transgender super.
Gobi is
human
taking
freak.
this way too seriously. This is hilarious.
I'm glad you guys are all having fun.
I am looking
Yes,
forward
it
to
does irritate me.
another spectacular all-female
Just wait, tomorrow.
Ghostbusters
Bad.
movie. I am also
Oh
looking
God,
forward
no.
to all of the Ocean's
No.
11 movies being rebooted with an all-female cast.
No.
I want
Oh,
to
they
see.
did that.
I want to see. Yeah, I know.
Ocean's 8.
It was fucking awful.
Yeah.
I heard actually the new Master Chief Collection update. John, Master Chief 117 is now a woman.
Good. That's progressive. It's forward-thinking of Microsoft. Also, I want all of the Indiana Jones movies to be rebooted with Indiana Jones as a woman. But in Raiders of the Lost Ark, Indy, still falls in love with Marion because lesbians are very in.
Because lesbians.
Because lesbians.
Literally, you guys have not watched Sex Education yet.
Is that a movie?
What are we talking about?
That explains
wanna
so
say-
much, Niggle.
Oh,
There's
I got lost
a
there too,
female
sorry.
version of Indiana Jones on 40 Days. What is it?
Oh God! Please don't.
Think of that movie.
Please don't tell me it's a real thing.
There's a reference to that.
I was kidding. I was joking. Everything I said was a joke. Everything I say on every podcast
it's
is a joke.
2020.
I'm
They
never
gotta
supposed to
They
be
gotta
taken
remake
seriously.
everything, man.
Yeah,
I'm
everything
telling you.
remade.
Why must Hollywood
2024,
dredge
this
up
is
my
the
childhood
internet.
and shit
Speaking
all
I
of
over?
can't wait
we
till they
so-
make The Little Mermaid with a female lead instead.
Big burly dude.
Hey, you know what they won't do? They won't remake a princess movie into a prince movie. It just won't happen.
That's true.
We can't
Yeah.
replace a female lead with a male lead. We can't do that.
That's
but we can
true.
replace every male lead with a female lead, and that's
I-
completely okay.
I was gonna say when Linus spoke up, I was really hoping that he was gonna say they were gonna remake Little Mermaid, but make Ariel into a boy. That would be awesome.
Yeah. No, we can't do that. We
But,
cannot.
but he
have
still
male
has the
leads and
clamshell.
everything's gotta be female.
But he still has the clamshell top.
Clamshell.
He's still got those, even though it doesn't. Need it.
Because
Again,
lip
you
slips.
probably should watch Sex Education. I'm just saying. I'm pretty sure that was covered in season 1 or early in season 2.
What the
Oh,
fuck
dude,
are we
Linus,
talking
when is
about?
Big Mouth
Sexy.
back?
I don't know. That was my favorite show.
That's an awesome show. All right, everyone, watch Big Mouth.
Watch it now.
Yeah.
Turn the podcast off.
So-
and watch Big
Turn it
Mouth.
off.
So
Go
while we're
watch that
shitting on things,
instead.
let's shit on this new fucking Ghost Recon Breakpoint fucking update that's coming out by the end of January, which they said this was supposed to come out back in December.
2021 or
Yeah.
right.
But they just said by the end of January. They did not give a year, so I'm gonna assume 2020. I could be making an ass out of you and me because I'm assuming something, but I guess it does right above it does say new content in 2020, and then it says live by the end of January. So hopefully that means 2020. Unfortunately, that could be 2 weeks away yet. Yeah.
They're gonna
And-
push it as hard as they can, and the fixes that are in there are laughable. It took you over a month to tone down the coughing in Erewhon that we have to listen to because you're still not done putting out that fucking quest yet. We can't cure these people.
Right,
That's you literally go into a wave file, you reduce the decibel output, and then you save the wave file. That's how long
Fuck
that
that.
takes.
Just delete the wave file. Just fucking take it out. It doesn't need to be there. Why are
Yeah.
these people even coughing? There's no fucking disease on this island. This is supposed to be World 2.0. Why is everybody fucking hacking their lungs out?
It's a
Have
I
you
don't
not
see
been
a
playing the
single person
missions?
smoking in that game.
There's
Have
a
you not been
story.
playing the missions?
There's a
Everybody's
story.
got a disease.
There's a virus, and it's an engineered virus. It was supposed to wipe out the spoilers. It was supposed to wipe out the people of Erewhon, but they fucked it up, and it is gonna infect everybody unless we cure it.
But Gobi, didn't you know that the human
I-
race is a
I have not gotten to play that because the game is unplayable now with
Dude,
20
there's like-
frames per second.
There's like a 6-week long quest line that they've been doing. Like every week they release a new portion of the quest.
It's great playing it when the game doesn't crash, but the game crashes all the time.
Yeah,
And they're not addressing that issue in the update. So they've taken, long story short, they've taken over a month, almost 2 months now, to push out an update that does some very, very minor shit. It fixes, apparently people were losing canteens, and like
And
thermal,
night
vision goggles and thermal goggles, and like they lost it, so that stuff will be back. Don't know anything about that, never happened to me. There's apparently an exploit with DMR sniper rifles. I had to look that one up because I've not noticed that in the game. Apparently they fixed that too.
Oh yeah.
There's they're reworking the stamina system, which basically means that somebody went into the source code and changed an integer, and that took over a month to do, apparently.
Oh no.
And that's
So the
about it.
stamina?
That's the big stuff.
The stamina from PvP, it was changed in a previous title update to give them more stamina, and now they're saying, whoa, everybody can infinite sprint. We can't have that. So now they got to tune the stamina back down in PvP only. So we're only talking about PvP. So they do have separate balancing for PvP versus the PvE, which is great. Wonderful. I mean, maybe the Division should take a fucking page out of their playbook. But yeah, they did say on Reddit that these are not all of the fixes in the patch, that these are just the highlighted ones, and that the patch notes will drop closer to when the patch drops.
Yeah,
But
these are
since
the
we haven't
highlighted
seen
ones.
those,
These are the ones that they're most
I'm-
proud of.
Well, there's no way that this patch isn't going to at least try to address the stability issues.
You say that.
Yeah,
No,
I don't
that's-
see anything on it, dude. And my Reddit post, I made a comment on the Reddit post about this, about saying there's nothing in there about the FPS glitches, and there's a bunch of other people bitching about audio issues that happen that I've never experienced, but apparently there's a ton of them.
Yeah,
If
I've
you
come across a bunch of
silently
those.
kill somebody, like there's an audio
They
issue
scream.
that happens.
Yeah, if you shoot
they're
somebody
no
in the
longer
head-
gonna shoot. Yeah, they won't. Oh, you killed me!
Because when you
I
get
just
your
shot
head
you in
blown
the
off in
fucking
real
head.
life, you scream.
Yeah, it's.
I still love playing the game.
No,
It's
I
still-
mean,
yeah.
As
When it
like
works,
terrible
it's
as
fun.
it is, I still love playing it.
What pisses me off the most is I actually enjoy the game, but it is literally unplayable right now for me because it will not go over 20 frames a second. Like I can deal with 35, 40 frames
See,
per second, but
I don't have that
20
problem.
fucking frame per second.
My problem
Oh,
is,
it's
and
weird.
I've sort of analyzed this with like DrNiggle realized the pattern. It crashes most often when we're in a snowy biome. So there's something
Yeah.
about a texture or something in the snowy biomes that causes some sort of instability. Because when we're running around far away from the mountains,
In the jungle.
It's-
yeah,
generally pretty stable.
it
It's
is.
when we go up into the mountains in the snow and shit that we start crashing every 3 minutes.
Well, my issue is the game thinks my computer is an Xbox. So
This
it's
is the
capped at 60 frames per second.
But this
in
is
the-
the whole
but if-
point. Like everyone, we all have these stories. Like unique and interesting bugs have happened to all of us in this game, and they're not addressing any of that in this title update.
No, I mean, I do. I'm like Omega. I love playing the game. Like, I really enjoyed playing the game. Like even when it ran at 45 frames per second, I could
Yeah.
handle it. It was fun. But trying to play a tactical shooter at 20 frames per second,
Is impossible.
it makes me want to throw my fucking PC. And the funny part is, I know the game runs way better because in the cut screen, if I put it in borderless window and I put the Discord up in front of it, the game is running at 300 frames per second in the fucking background. But as soon as I bring it to the foreground, it immediately fucking caps to 60 frames per second. and that's the most it'll ever do. And then once you load in the worlds, it immediately drops 20 to 30 frames, like just like that. And I talked to people on Discord and Reddit, and that's exactly how it runs on an Xbox, a regular Xbox One or a regular PS4. And which irritates the shit out of me because I know it can run way better. In fact, I upgraded my graphics card just so this game would run better, and it has actually ran worse since I upgraded my video card.
Yeah. So the point
makes no
is, we're all annoyed that Ubisoft is delaying this update and that they're really not addressing any of the serious problems of the game. We really wish that they would. It is a fun game when it works, and we enjoy playing it. And yeah, it's the delays. It's just driving us nuts. And now, because I'm a complete fucking hypocrite, I'm going to say that it's okay that CD Projekt Red pushed back the release date of Cyberpunk 2077 to September.
Yeah.
It's fine. Take your time, guys. We love you.
Yeah, I guess we can get into the round table. Game delays and your thoughts is the round table. Obviously, we know CD Projekt Red got bumped. Dying Light 2 has been bumped indefinitely. They have no release date at all. All they said is it's not releasing in the spring. And there's one other one I can't remember. So yeah, what are you guys' thoughts on these delays? And do you think it's a good thing or?
Exactly what I wrote in the document.
It's fine. Take your time. Everyone else, get to fucking.
Get to fucking.
Get to fucking you.
Oh, if only we could post these memes up.
Get you to the fuck.
erections.
Linus, I remember. Linus told me a long time ago. What's Scottish foreplay? I think that was what it was.
Yep.
Brace yourself. Get to fucking.
Get you to fucking.
Well, if the British didn't hate us, now the Scotsmen hate us. Man,
No, the Scots are fine. They're cool.
They'll
Cool
be like,
people.
get to fuck you. Go with your fuck self, ye.
They got good beer. They got good food. I like their food.
Good Scotch.
I like their people. I like their climate. I like their sheep. Those damn sexy sheep.
My biggest problem with these delays is now everything's being bumped to the fall, or holiday, which was already packed anyway this year. We got Halo Infinite. We're gonna have another Halo game in Master Chief Collection coming out. Now you're gonna have Cyberpunk 2077. The new Call of Duty, I believe the new Battlefield is coming out this year because we haven't had one of those in a couple of years. Like all these games historically release in the holiday season, which, we're going to have a packed fall. Do you guys think that's going to affect game sales too? Or do you think some of these delays were because of the next generation consoles will be released this year right around the holiday season?
The console thing is definitely a consideration. I don't know. Yeah, all I can say for sure is that it's going to put there's going to be a lot more competition in Q3 and Q4 of this year.
The pessimist. Sorry, go ahead.
No, you go. Go.
The pessimist in me is like, well, game delays are always a thing. So, as much as stuff is getting delayed from this part of the year, who knows? Some of the stuff at the end of the year might get delayed too. And then it'll all work out.
See, I find it crazy to say this, but I seem to be the optimist of the group here. And I'm okay with the delays because it's going to come out eventually. And this goes for all the games. And honestly, I think on a larger level, I can hope, it gives me hope in some way that maybe these developers are pushing back against the publisher's schedules a little bit, or maybe it's that finally consumers are being heard and that we're tired of these broken titles being pushed out too quickly, and maybe it is starting to impact game developers' bottom lines when they get this reputation as making these games that are crap, push them out too quick. And I think any gamer can acknowledge that it's the publisher's fault that games get pushed out unfinished. The developers want nothing more than to put out a good product. They are being forced to release games early by the bankers. And my only hope is that this is a sign that consumers are being heard, that developers are pushing back, that maybe this is going to change, like lead to a positive change in the quality of games.
Which is a good point. It's one of the reasons that I'm not really pissed off at CD Projekt Red or anything for delaying Cyberpunk is because I know that they do have... I don't think that their back is against the wall in terms of their publisher. I think that they have more liberty to push back release dates. I'm not sure exactly what I'm basing that on. Why am I saying this? I read this somewhere.
I don't know.
But yeah, what you say basically, and it's fine if they want to, specifically Cyberpunk 2077. If they want to push it back because they gave a pretty good reason. It's a huge world, large, expansive, open city that you are free to explore. There's a lot going on there. They need time to organize storylines, plot lines, things interacting with other things, all the rest of that. That's a good reason to delay a game because it is so big. So I'm okay with that, and I would like to take that optimistic view that Omega has.
See, with
except for Ubisoft. Fuck Ubisoft.
with Cyberpunk specifically, I think they do have a little bit of extra power and sway just by reputation and their record to have that kind of freedom. But I think when looking at Ubisoft as, the example that we've also been talking about a lot, they're going through a lot of changes. They just expanded their editorial team like we discussed. They're pushing back updates because ostensibly they want to get them right. I'm okay with that. I'd rather take a little while longer and have it be done right than have them rush out an update that fixes two problems and causes one new one.
Also, I agree with that. I
agree with it to a point.
Yeah, because it's like, Ubisoft, for an example, when they showed their E3 games, and the games that came out weren't anywhere near it. But then there's this game, for instance, I waited for by Deep Silver, Ride to Hell. And I was excited for this game. I read the reviews on it. Everybody who talked about it, you're supposed to build 70 different styles of motorcycle. When it came out, it's one bike, 4 different gas tanks. As you're playing, your character would twist himself with pretzel and die. And that game got delayed for 3 years. So I like that they'll delay a game to make it better, but then you're always going to have that company delay the game to make it quote unquote better, and it comes out worse than what you're expecting.
Yeah, that's true.
I guess I don't mind them holding games to make them better, but take Ghost Recon for example. We haven't had a patch for the game since November, and the game came out in October. And it's now January, and it's optimized like shit. They had to take a break, which we all know they took a break for fucking holiday and not to make the game better. They could have easily pushed out a performance patch before the holiday and done a lot of these other fixes afterwards. Like Niggle said, the coughing and stuff like that, a lot of the minor stuff they could have pushed out before the holiday season. But the game's been out for 5 months, and we've had 2 updates. And we've been waiting for 3 months, and now they push back season 2. All the updates that they got from that survey or whatever has not came to fruition at all. It's not even on their fucking roadmap yet, and it's just they're taking too long. I get taking time, but there's been no communication and no updates. You can't hold an update for 3 months and not communicate with your player base. and that's exactly what's
Yeah.
happened. I mean, even I knew Cyberpunk was getting delayed because, like, I have their Discord channel, their announcements linked to my Discord, and there had been absolute radio silence for the last 3 months. And this game is supposed to be out in 3 more months,
Yeah,
and there's
April.
been absolutely nothing. And same thing with Dying Light 2, which got delayed. Like, there has been absolutely nothing on the game for the last 3 months, and there's been no interaction between the devs and the player base, and they keep pushing out updates for Dying Light 1. Like, you don't keep pushing updates for a game that's 4 years old at this point when you have a new game coming out in 3 months, unless you know that that game isn't coming out in 3 months.
So, yeah. Leetness, thoughts about delays?
Fuck you! Games that don't want to come out when I want you. No, it's okay. I mean, I've got so many games to catch up on at this point that I'm okay with it.
You've got Path of Exile.
I've got so much Path of Exile to play, and I've got Outer Worlds, Fallout 76, Red Dead Redemption 2.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
We all thought it.
Solitaire.
Speaking of infinite fucking delays, Insurgency Sandstorm is finally going to be released on PS4 and Xbox One at some point this spring. That game was supposed to come out last spring to consoles, and it still has yet to be released on consoles. So it's a great game. It's a lot of fun if you're into those kind of games. But unfortunately for the PS4 guys and the Xbox One guys, it's literally still not out. But it is supposed to be out this spring, and New World Interactive has not pushed it back or delayed it again. So hopefully you guys get to play it soon.
Peasants.
It's our PC Master Race voice talking right there.
So thank you.
Speaking
Yes,
of,
it is.
other games too while we're at it, Horizon Zero Dawn, we all remember it from the PS4, wonderful game, got really great reviews and stuff. There are rumors that it will be coming to PC at some point this year. Not sure if I'm excited about that or not, because it's been out for 2 years and I'm not really interested in the game anymore. Yeah.
All right. Well, good podcast. Came to a grinding, actually not a grinding halt. It came to a gradual stop.
Yeah.
I think that we've talked about a lot. This was very cathartic for some of us. We got a lot off our chests, and we feel. I for one feel better.
I'm good. I mean, I can keep going if you guys want.
No, I think I'm good.
No, I think I'm good.
Good. All right. Well, I'll thank you guys all for listening, and thanks you all for joining. Hopefully, you guys tune in next week.
Huzzah!
Peace.
Thank you to our special guest star, Spade.
Laters.
My nose is burning from Tiger Bomb.
Ooh.